Good morning students, how are you? I hope you are all doing good. This is Sudipta Kundu, your chemistry teacher, and I hope that you are all started studying. So, as we have started a chapter that is sorting materials into group, and we have discussed that what is the meaning of the sorting and why we need it, and also in the last class we have discussed that how we can classify, how can we group the materials. We can group the materials basis of how they are made, which materials have been used to make an object. Now in the last class we have discussed that what is object and what is material, right? The things made up of one or more material is called objects, and what is material? The basic thing that will be needed to make an object, right? So that means for making an object, for example, let's take this umbrella. For making this umbrella we need the basic things. What are the basic things? That is the cloth, that is this rod and this plastic body. So these basic things that we need are called material, and from that material we are making something, that is umbrella. This umbrella is what? This is object. Now let's come to the more example, that is activity 2. Table 4.2 lists some common materials and you can add more materials in column 1. Now see, table 4.2, come to the 4.2. Different type of objects that are made from one or more material or a same material. So from same material we can make one different type of object, or two or more objects can be made. Let's see what can we make. So now as we have discussed what is material and object, now tell me, now this is come to the 4.2. Now tell me that what can we make from this material? What are the objects that we can make? Now for wood, from wood what we can make? We can make, as you can see, this door, you can see that the column of the door is made up of what? It is made up of wood. This almirah, as you cannot see, but this almirah wardrobe is also bookshelf, is also made up of what? It is also made up of wood. So from wood we can make various material, and what are they? For example, that is door, then windows, wardrobe, almirah, etc. Chair, table, etc. Right? Now comes to the paper. What can we make from paper? Notebooks, books, notebook, book, chart paper, maps, and etc. There are also other things that we can make from the paper. Now what about the leather? What can we make from the leather? From leather we can make, that is belt, bag, shoes. These are the objects that we can make from the leather. What can we make from plastics? Plastics we can make, what can? This board. You can see the board in which I am writing. This door is also made up of what? Plastics. So from the plastic we can make board, chair, plates, pen. These are the things that we can make from the plastics. Now what can we make from cotton? Cotton means is a fiber. It is a kind of fiber which we use to make clothes. So see, one thing that we can get is making clothes, bed sheet, curtains. These are the things, curtains. So these are the objects that we can make from cottons. So we have seen that from one material we can make various type of objects, and from which they are made we can classify. So we can separate, we can group the materials, or we can group the object on the basis of the materials that have been used. So we have discussed till now. Now comes to the next topic, that what are the other properties by which we can group them. Now let's see. Page number 28. Properties of the materials. Properties means boishishto. Have you ever wondered why tumbler is not made up of piece of cloth? Tumbler means gamla. Tumbler means gamla. That tumbler is not made up of piece of cloth. Now tell me, what is the use of tumbler? We have to know the first uses, then only we can tell. Tumbler is used for keeping or for holding water, right? Tumbler is used to keep water in it. Like for bottle. Let's take another example, that is bottle. Why bottle is not made up of piece of cloth? Because bottle is used for keeping water, liquid items in it. Now if we make a bottle or tumbler with the help of piece of paper, the water will pass through it because it contains many holes in it. Now see, not all the materials can be used for making same item. Depending upon their properties, they have different uses, right? Depending upon the properties. Now, with the help of this property, we are going to group the materials. Now let's see. So here you can see that why tumbler or bottle is not made up of piece of cloth. Generally, the tumbler is used to keep liquids. As I told you, bottle or a tumbler, they are used to keep water in it. Now, if a tumbler is made up of cloth, it cannot hold water because it have many tiny pores in it. These clothes, if we see closely, you will see many tiny pores in it. And due to which, since it has a many tiny pores, the water will drip. Water will flow away and flow. So that is the reason that we cannot make a tumbler with a piece of cloth. Now as we can see, the cloth, a tumbler and the piece of cloth, they have two different properties. Now depending on the properties, now the materials can be grouped. So what are those properties? What are the properties by which we can group them? So we can group the materials with the help of what? One is appearance. Second is transparency. Third is hardness. How hard is the material? Second is solubility. And the source. The last one is source. That means from where we can get them. Appearance means what? How they look, how they appear when you observe from the outer body. Means what is appearance? Means how they look. By observing the outside, we can group the material. Suppose in your class, one new student has come. So what you will see? The first thing what you will observe? The first thing you will observe that how he or she looks. That means how he or she appears, right? And that with the help of that property, we group them, that either whether she is a girl or a boy, right? And with the help of that, we group them that she is a girl or he is a boy. So with the help of appearance, that how they look, we can group the material. What are those? That is luscious property. What is luscious? Luscious means shiny. Whether the material is shining or it is not shiny. So let's see. Now see, appearance. Page number 28 NCERT. Materials usually look different from each other. Wood looks different from iron. Iron appears different from copper and aluminium. And depending, they have similar properties between the iron, aluminium that are not present in wood. Collect a piece of material Paper, cardboard, wood, copper wire, aluminum sheet and chalk. Do any of these appear shiny? Now group the materials depending upon the appearance. Now as I told, what is appearance? Appear means how they look. Now depending upon their appearance, we can group the material. What is this? One is lustrous, second is non-lustrous. What is lustrous and non-lustrous? Lustrous means shiny. And what is non-lustrous? That is dull or non-shiny. Now, depending upon this, we can group the material. The materials which can be which are shiny are lustrous. Materials which are not shiny are non-lustrous, which are dull to appear. So depending upon this shiny and non-shiny, we can group the material. Now tell me, which are the materials that can be shine with the help of activity 3? Paper, cardboard, wood. Are they all shiny? Do they appear shiny? This paper, is it appearing shiny? No. This wood, is it appearing shiny? No. So, wood, cardboard and paper, they are not shiny. Copper wire, aluminium sheet, are they shiny? Copper wire, the wire with the help of which the electricity, we are getting the electricity. Aluminium sheet, kitchen utensils, steel, are they shiny? Yes, they are shiny. So, copper, aluminium, they are all shiny. So depending on this, whether they are shiny or not shiny, we can group them. There is one more property by which also we can group, that is shiny. That is, do you know what are they called? Copper and aluminium. They are called metals. What are they called? They are called metals. That means copper, aluminium are metals. And do you know what property they have? They are good conductor of heat and electricity. Heat and electricity. Heat and electricity, good conductor means these metals help us to conduct, help us to transfer the electricity from one position to another. Just imagine how we are able to get electricity. Electricity are produced in factories, and from their factories we are getting the electricity. How is it possible? This is because of this metal. This copper is turned into wire, and these with the help, this copper wire help us to transfer the electricity from power plant, from factories to our home. Understood? So, but these materials, paper, cardboard, wood, are they conductor of heat and electricity? No. They are not they are bad conductor. Bad conductor means they conductor of heat and electricity. That means they do not allow electricity or heat to pass through them. Only metals like aluminium, copper, iron, you can say iron, these are the materials which help us to conduct or to pass electricity or heat through them. So we have discussed that with the help of appearance we can group the materials lustrous and non-lustrous, that is whether it is shiny or it is not shiny. right? So today we will discuss up to this. In the next class we are going to further discuss about the other properties and how we can group them. So till then, thank you and have a nice day.